All right, guys, welcome to the first IYG Podversation. This is Ash here. I'm on the main IYG YouTube account hosting this for our guest speakers today, which I'll give them a moment to introduce themselves after I just kind of say whoever's in here first. We have the Mercenary King, we have Qoheleth, and Blackstar, and Makuto joining us, and hopefully Solo might join midway. Okay, so Makuto might just disconnected, but he'll be back. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with Mercenary King.
Hey, I'm Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King. I've been around quite a while, not the longest some. I run the State of Play monthly or so show for Imagine Your Goddess.
Oh, goody. Minner's back.
Well, go ahead. Introduction about yourself.
Hang on, mute somebody that's speaking like crazy. There we go. Alright, so Qoheleth here. Main member of the team. Been around playing this game for about 3 years. Excited about Stride and all that nonsense. Ready to talk about it. Let's get this going.
All right, Blackstar, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm John Alsberg, aka Blackstar. I've been at Nova player for about 3.5 years, I think. Yeah, and I've been on the Vanguard scene for quite a bit of time, but I'm here to help out with talking about Stride and stuff. So.
And welcome to him. He'll give us some good commentary, hopefully. Make this an interesting show. Makuto?
That show's always interesting.
Makuto, do you hear us?
He's having some technical difficulties.
I mean, he was just
Probably
making a piece of data, so.
Yeah, he's probably cooking. All right, we can get back to him when he joins in more permanently. So, once again, I'm Ash. I handle most of the technical aspects of IYG, do most of the Facebooking, YouTube, and whatnot with that, and that's what I mainly do. I've been playing the game since, well, I think, was it summer of 2012, 2013 at least?
Yeah.
2012.
It was 2012.
It's been quite a while. I've been through most of the major changes. Used to be major tournament player, but I've since moved to more of a sales support role. So I do enjoy playing occasionally. So with that said, looks like we just got Solo to join us. Solo, can you go ahead and give us a short introduction?
Howdy do. I am known as Solo. I guess we're doing introductions on card fight related things.
Or just a little thing about yourself, and I guess your history in card fight as well.
Got it. Okay. Well, 23 years old, not single. Let's see here. Card fight related. Let's see. It's been a while. I played card fight. I remember Ash introducing me to card fight. I don't remember what year. It was like 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. I think it was in December of 2012.
Yeah, something like that. And I remember my first match with the Mercenary King, and I lost that match. But it was at that point that it set the pavement for me for the future, and it motivated me to try a little bit harder and hopefully beat the Mercenary King one day and future opponents. And I would say the journey has been really fun so far, and I expect a lot of fun things, a lot more fun things in the future of card fight.
Oh. Okay, well, certainly some interesting stuff there. Makuto, are you back?
Sounds like Makuto's back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, go ahead and give us a short introduction about yourself.
All right, it's Makuto. I started playing Vanguard in 2013 summer. And then I met these guys, and now I play both. So that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's short to the point. So our first up.
My whole life story. I don't understand.
No, you're good. You're good.
Jason did it.
Yeah, tell us if you're single. Are you available for the ladies?
Yeah, Mitch, are you available?
Oh, am I available?
Yes.
No, I'm not available for any loading.
Oh.
Blackstar is the only available member of the podcast that's available right now. So.
That's right. I have solo, so I am
Yep.
the happiest.
Okay, so let's move straight into our first topic. The new thing in Vanguard shifted from the Legion meta somewhat to a Stride meta with the new grade 4s that it came out about I think it's about a week now ago.
No, it's been about 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it hasn't been out for way too long. So, just kind of what are your
Good
opinions?
save, Luke. Good save.
What are your opinions on Stride? What are your opinions on the meta change and the future of Vanguard? So, who would like to start us off with that?
Sure, I will. All right. So, as far as I can tell, right now Stride has put a lot of decks in a good position. It has improved current decks. It has made new decks more interactive, in my opinion. Being able to constantly get effects off by using a mechanic is good. And in my opinion, Limit Break was a terrible mechanic because starting to play the game at 4 damage is terrible considered when some decks can start playing the game as soon as grade 3 ride. So Stride allows you to do that. As soon as both players have a grade 3, you can start playing the game, which is fun. It's interactive. It keeps the game fresh, in my opinion. And it's not. As soon as I get to Limit Break, I might win. It's as soon as we get to game 3, we both start playing and we both start interacting, and whoever is better, it's more of a skill-based game now, in my opinion.
Instead of luck.
Yeah. I mean, it's still luck, obviously. Triggers are still a thing, but
Yeah.
Anyway, that's me.
Yeah, certainly. I really like the new Stride as well. My main thing with that is that it feels like with the triple drive, decks with like 12 crit or whatnot are even more deadly, and just chances of you losing just on that first attack or first 2 attacks seems to be greater. It feels like the game is faster, but when we actually play it out, it's not really the case.
Right, and then as the numbers grow, it actually you'd think it would be a lot harder. Like the game would be faster, but it's not the case. For whatever reason, it's evolved into this point where guarding seemed to get easier. I don't know why, but it did. Like the numbers that swing for Legion was always 20 plus, Stride was always 26 plus. It seems easier to guard for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Okay. So, and you guys feel free to, if you have an interesting thing that is relevant to your answer, feel free to screen share it and whatnot. But what are your opinions on this Mercenary King?
I'm going to agree with Chris here. For some strange reason, I feel like I have more cards in my hand than I did back in the day when... can everyone hear me just fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Everyone's hearing? Okay. Okay. Good, because I put my laptop down, so I wanted. I feel like I have more cards in hand more times. I remember back in the day when I was facing OTT and Novas and whatnot that I seemed to spend more hand as guard. Now it seems like, and I was playing Mega Colony. Mega Colony has draws, it prevents people from attacking me, all kinds of good stuff. So I should have hand. But now it seems like how the abilities are going with Stride and just in general. We're entering like a higher level of play of Vanguard, where previously it was just sort of some sort of beatdown. But now it's you have to take it just right. You can't misplay. Went out to Kansas City, and I lost the game explicitly because I didn't distribute my crits. That's a small thing. It's technically not a misplay, but it lost me the game. That sort of thing. And I'm noticing that more and more. The good players are getting better, so that even the tiniest mistake is enough to lose a game. And Stride just helps make that a bit easier, faster. I don't really have much different opinions than what's already been described. However, I'm looking forward to the Fire Collection, especially the Mega Colony Strides. They better be good, or I'm rioting.
Yeah. Okay. So, how about Solo, you give us some of your opinion as someone who is, I believe, is a bit more casual than a lot of us, who has some little experience with the Stride as well. What are your opinions on that, the future of Vanguard related to that, and basically compared to what Vanguard used to be?
All right. So coming from I guess casual player and a player with not too remarkable skill, but can pull out luck and sack triggers every now and then.
Jason's the best.
the
Jason, all
sack
he's gonna do is
the
break
sack
out.
king. But coming from a casual player, I think for me, it's just a new, fresh mechanic to play with, and now instead of just worrying about what kind of triggers you pull, now you also have to worry about fulfilling the conditions to stride, and there are a lot more conditions to look out for in that respect. And when going against someone who can stride, you certainly had to look out for that as well, and hopefully have maybe perfect shields in your hands, maybe to guard that huge attack that's coming in. So back in the old days, it was just simple, grade 1, 2, 3, and once you're at 3, pull a double trigger and whatnot, hope for a double crit, triple crit maybe. But now there's a lot more at stake, and it adds an extra depth to the game itself, and I would say it's very, very fun.
So in general, you think the future of Vanguard is headed the right direction, a step back, or what?
Now if Vanguard was taking a step back, I wouldn't know anything about that, but I feel like there's definitely improvement, and
His mic got muted.
well, to repeat what I said earlier, I don't.
And
That's weird. Okay, I don't. Google Hangout just doesn't want me to.
they don't want you to speak the foreign words.
Maybe if I say it fast enough, it won't mute me. Vanguard is not getting stagnant. Done.
Okay, Blackstar, why don't you give us some of your opinions on Stride, what little you know of it?
I'll refer back to Chris saying like how you would have to take 4 damage to be able to compete with some decks, like as he was saying. And now I feel like you can play a much safer, more skill-based game instead of luck from what I know from Stride. What frustrated me the most coming back into Vanguard my second time was limit breaks, as Chris said. I didn't really like it. I felt like, some limit breaks were better than others. And then running Blau, that effect where you stand again, there were very repetitive limit breaks, very little difference in clans. As in back when I played Season 1, Season 2, more like there was more individual, like Spike Brothers you boosted based off rear guards, resting. And I feel like Stride brings a new element into the game, and to where players can now play their respective decks and not feel like, oh, I have to play S tier decks or I'm not going to win the game. And players who were not doing as well based off not being able to play S tier decks with Limit Break do better now thanks to Stride, if that makes sense.
So
I
you
agree.
see as players who didn't have the money or the ability to play certain types of decks
Exactly.
now have teams.
Now kind of have a more equal standpoint on the playfield due to Stride coming out instead of people running Blau decks versus some people who couldn't run, like a Blau deck or a Narukami deck or a or just any type of S tier deck.
Yeah, I can dig that. I totally see where that's coming from there. Especially that grade 4s let us use older cards now. So.
Exactly. So now, some people who, like me, I still have Season 1, Season 2 cards. So those come into play now again, helping me, like, not making all the purchases useless as multiple series would go on and seasons would go on where you wouldn't be able to reuse the cards from the past season. So that's how I stand. And I definitely think Vanguard's going in the right direction with this one. I feel like Limit Breaks was, if we were to say that was a step back, now they've taken 2 steps forward. So.
Oh, very good. 2 steps forward, I like.
Like that. And I guess Makuto disconnected on us again, so we don't.
Yeah,
Wait.
Oh?
Makuto, give us some of your input on Stride.
All right, hold on. Let me fix my camera first.
Okay, good.
All right.
I love your stuff.
Minter, stop trying to
So,
embarrass me.
how I feel about Stride, I don't really know yet. Like, but I have a plan.
Alrighty then. Thank you, Makura. All right.
Good talk. Good talk.
Good
Hold
talk.
on.
I really like your
What
scan
did you know about
points.
Stride? I did not understand that.
I didn't. He cut out pretty bad.
Sounds like he's gone. He disconnected again.
Okay, maybe we can get his opinion later.
Input this,
So,
please.
I think we can pretty much agree unilaterally that Stride is getting Vanguard to the right direction. A lot of things I've noticed, at least for myself with Vanguard things, is that whenever they release something new, it seems overpowered or it seems like it'll break the game. It actually ends up a lot better than anticipated. I thought the break riots were really going to hurt the game. Turned out that it didn't do it as much as I thought. Legion really kind of looked dumb, but when you started playing it, it's actually a lot better than that. And Stride, like the game is going to be kind of a lot more boring, but is actually still quite interesting.
Yeah.
Makuto, back?
What were you saying? Go on. Continue. Okay.
Makuto?
Ash, just continue with what you were saying. I'm pretty sure he left again. So just continue on.
You just have a connection phone.
Yeah.
So, basically, every time Bushiroad makes some type of new mechanic change, it usually sounds bad, it looks bad, but it ends up a lot better than we anticipate.
Yeah, and I mean, Legion was getting a lot of hate because, as English players, we grew up. This game evolved with Limit Break being its primary mechanic, and we didn't know anything else, so we didn't know how bad it actually was. But once Legion came out and made its mark, that set the standard, in my opinion. And if we go back to a Limit Break-esque skill, it'll ruin the game.
I completely agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, I really like the focus on reinventing itself. I'm not sure if calling it G was maybe the right thing, but starting again from like a set 1 perspective.
Well, yeah, exactly. And whenever we were back and playing like one, you didn't really know where Vanguard was gonna go because you used to just play and like for me having Novas, I would run a Zura Kaizen, go basic. You get a grade 3, you stand a unit, So the game evolved very fast, and now that it's G Stride, I feel like it's gonna pause for a bit. And finally let players who played in the Season 1 really get a feel for more of the basic skill points of what they do. Or the skills of what they do.
Yeah, that's
I
that.
could believe in that.
I pretty much agree with that. So, that's some of our opinions on Stride. I'm sure a lot of people have had mixed opinions, especially if they haven't been able to experience it firsthand. Overall, it's not as bad as you'd imagine it to be, and it might really open your eyes a bit more to the game in general. So, moving on to our next topic. So we have the G Booster Set 2 coming out soon. See if I can pull up something. So we have G Booster Set 2 pulling up soon. As you can see, we have a release date of May 22nd. I actually probably should be talking about the extra booster, but we can get to that after this because that should be coming out first. If there's one card from the G booster, which I'm linking chat here, that you think is the most interesting card, and for you, Blackstar, this might just be whatever has the most interesting. But what do you think is the most interesting card for the new G booster set, and why?
Is that just the grade 4s?
Just any card, probably. Yeah, just any card, really.
Okay.
So, who'd like to start us off?
I think I'll start us off. This one, I'm really excited about the Neomector stuff that's coming out. I'm not really into the big attack sort of deal, the multiple attacks, but I see how they can be used for such. Though the thing that's really capturing my imagination is the Dragonic Vanquisher and the Conquest Dragon, the new Arakami stuff. What they're doing is they are sort of putting a bind and retire sort of combination going on, which is kind of nice. Its original Narukami was retire the front row and do interesting stuff with the bind.
Mm-hmm. So, the Dragonic Vanquisher, I have pulled up on my screen here. If you guys have it pulled up on your screen, it might be easier. Like whenever you get to your card that you're talking about, and you just screen share it. So, what would you say was the binding? Yeah, it feels like it's moving more toward the was it Dungaree that was the binding unit?
Yeah, Dungaree was the binding unit.
Yeah, so it feels like it's moving more toward the Dungaree. It certainly looks quite interesting. You said Dragonic Vanquisher. Was there? What was the other card again?
Supreme Dragon, Conquest Dragon.
Supreme Dragon, Conquest Dragon. All right, so it looks like.
This is Stride.
Yeah, I want it right now. Number of face-up cards in your G's on a steel more. Choose one rear guard your opponent's front row. Retire it, turn and turn. All units in front row get +5. So it's basically kind of like a Vermilion. It looks like, in a sense, right? Choose one rear guard. Well, it kills one. I might be thinking of an Eradicator unit that did that.
Yeah, it's similar to Tempest Bolt.
Tempest Bolt, yeah, I think that might be what I'm thinking of.
But basically, what they're trying to do is give Narukami a different feel, like a different skill set other than Kagero, where they just both retired. And yes, one was more aggressive. They obviously had different playstyles, but they still had similar effects.
Okay, so it's certainly interesting. I'm curious that they're moving toward the bind. It looks like for the grade 3 unit anyway, for Narukami, which I thought that what was the other clan that binded? Was that Murakuma or Nubatama? Nubatama. So yeah, I thought that they would mainly focus that for Nubatama, but it looks like they're still having something with Narukami there too, which I'm not sure I'd say I'm a fan of. It's when you're mixing mechanics that should probably stay with the other clan. It's kind of gets weird. So, Chris, are you ready? Or Qoheleth, are you ready with yours, or solo, or should I go with mine?
Go for yours.
Go with yours.
Okay, so I will do mine then. So the thing I'm most interested in right now, it may not necessarily be this unit, but it's the resistibility. And here we have the Blue Storm Marine General Milos. It's the new Aquaforce thing. But what I love about Resist is the whole reason that Aquaforce hasn't been showing up in tournament scenes is mainly because of clans like Narukami and Kagero retiring all this stuff. And they're requiring like 4 attacks or whatnot attacks. And then if all your key cards are getting retired, then you really can't achieve what your deck is trying to do. So you only really saw success with Glory Maelstrom and those kind of straightforward Aquaforce cards. So with the resist mechanic, I feel like they can go back to their the roots with Aquaforce, being the multiple attacks, and they tried to have it so you can send the unit to the back row and save them, but then you had more things targeting the back row, and it generally didn't end up well for Aquaforce. And Aquaforce, though a fun-looking clan, it's really hard to get off the ground. Just because of all the retire clans that are so popular. Even in United Sanctuary, Shadow Paladin has retiring, and that is a very popular clan as well. So I feel like this will give Aquaforce more of a show in the tournaments. Hopefully make them more popular. I didn't like Tetraburst, which was the Legion that they had.
Tetraburst was awful.
Yeah, Tetraburst. Was that still a triple rare in English?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was quite a shame there with Tetraburst. It almost felt like a slap to the Aquaforce players. But with the resist mechanic, I feel like they made up a lot of it. Like they made up for a lot of the insult, and I think is the primary mechanic for Soaring Ascent as far as what's being introduced. So that's my carding there. Hopefully, Force becomes more popular and more people play it. Okay, so
All right,
solo or Qoheleth?
I'll go. I've pulled up Omniscience Dragon Monogamer for Great Nature. Great Nature got a dragon, which it kind of ticked me off a little bit, but it's whatever. They kind of introduced what Great Nature's whole thing is now. There's always been drawing cards, give stack plus 4K under their rear guards, and retire that unit, and then get effects off that plus off that. But now there's multitudes of cards that say, hey, if you have 20,000 attack or more boosted, then you get effects. And Monogamer is one of them, where he gives a glory effect to your rear guards that have 20k attack power or more, which is pretty good. It makes it so that they have to perfect shield your Vanguard and then save their zeros for their sides. But if you have 2 columns that are swinging for 20k plus, that's a lot of zeros that they're going to have to guard with, and it pushes for game in a very good way. So I'm glad that they take this direction with Great Nature. I'm glad that Monogamer is a card that they printed. I'm glad that all the support they got is good. But hopefully it's good enough. I haven't really seen a lot of lists coming out of Japan. And Great Nature is a setup, a clan that needs setup. So hopefully it doesn't hurt them too much. But just the fact that Bushiroad took their time to give Great Nature main clan support was really cool. So I'm looking forward to this the most.
It has been quite a while since Great Nature got a triple rare, right?
Yeah, like set 7, pretty much.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting there. So Solo, what is your main interest from the next set coming out, or the next major set?
Could you list me the clans?
There's a link, Jason.
There's a link in chat.
Oh, there is. Okay. Let's take a look-see and find out. Guys, what has been discussed so far? Let's get a quick recap, please.
What the fuck have you been doing?
Huh?
Alright, so we talked about Narukami, we talked about Aquaforce, and we talked about Great Nature.
We talked about the Narukami Grade 4. We talked about Dragonic Vanquisher. We talked about Aquaforce's new mechanic, and we talked about the the Magnamar Great Nature.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Well, let's see here. Was Narukami discussed yet?
Yes.
Well, one of the units wasn't discussed, but
Oh, okay. Well, as a casual player, I don't like venturing out to too many clans and trying out. And one of my main clans to play is Narukami. But since you brought that up, Ash, Dragonic Kaiser Crimson. He's a grade 3, right? Let's see here.
hold up.
Can you share your screen?
Go ahead,
Yeah. Let's do that. And
Oh.
and
Oh.
all right. So this is what we're looking at here, right?
Yes.
And so choose an activated ability of one of your Legion mates, and until the end of the turn. Hey, so he's not bad. I mean, he's okay, I guess, but
What does that do, Jason? What does that skill do?
what does it do?
God.
I'm half paying attention, half not.
Looks like you're playing Smite.
What does it do?
Yeah, it's like I'm playing Smite almost. Hold on just a second.
What's the icon down there? Is that Smite?
Looks like Smite to me.
No. Anyways,
Jason, if it's not Smite, just go ahead and close that window for me.
Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion. Crimson. Great guy. Best girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Diesel was best girl.
We won't
Okay.
tell her that.
Okay, so Solo picked this card. What do you guys think of this card?
Alright, so it brings back Limit Break, but it gives you the ability to attack the front row every turn as soon as you hit Limit Break, which is pretty decent. It puts a lot of pressure on a lot of clans. It'll probably screw up every clan at some point if they don't die right away, you know. But honestly, we'll just have to wait and play against it to see whether or not it's strong or not.
One of my big qualms about it is that it's a limit break unit, which means you'll probably have to run the unlimiters to get really full use of it, which you probably would anyway because it's a Vermilion Legion. So that'd be interesting. Vermilion itself is a pretty decent card.
It was a decent card. It has definitely been outclassed since then. But this kind of brings it back into the limelight.
Yeah, and it being a double rare will certainly make it cheaper and easier for people to access. And like I said, the big focus on reviving a bunch of old cards, which is nice. It's a nice nod back to the old players, which really like what you were doing. Mercenary King, you have any opinions on the Kaiser Crimson?
Ben.
Is he even there?
No opinion. He's just that great.
Okay. So, a lot of random AFKs in this podcast here. So, moving on to our next thing. Before I really talk about the extra booster, what are our opinions on the release schedule of sets now? So, we just had this set come out in, would it be the 6th? Was it the 6th it came out? I think it was the 6th.
13th. It's only been out for a week.
It has been out for a week.
Sound like a robot.
So I wasn't crazy. Okay, so it's been out for a week. And then now we have a little bit over a month, actually, the 17th, for the release of the new trial deck for Aquaforce and the extra booster of Cosmic Roar, and then a month after that for set 2, and then a month after that for the Legend, Fires Collection, and Fateful Star Messiah trial decks. So we got the 1 month release schedule. What are our opinions on this right now? I don't believe it's changed that much since the old deck.
I think it's a pretty decent pacing.
My wallet will hurt so bad.
Yeah, Ben
So
this garbage.
bad.
But I mean, the trial deck for Aquaforce, in my opinion, won't do a whole lot until May hits. Just looking at what those cards do, it might do something, but Tidal Bore is only okay. Well, he's okay. He's above average in my opinion, actually, for a trial deck card. But until they get other support from May, it'll just be like Neomecha, where they have to wait till they get all the fun stuff. As for Cosmic Roar, I'm sure this is Dimension Police support for all of this season, so hopefully it'll push them into the limelight like it has with a lot of other clans. From what I can tell, their strides are good, most of their grade 3s are good, so they have the tools there, apparently. It's whether or not the clan can actually pull through.
Yeah, I find it really interesting that they gave Dimension Police its own extra. Did anyone anticipate that happening?
No, but no one really anticipated like Shadows or Genesis getting their own extra booster either.
I think the whole Legend deck thing is pretty surprising as well. Even more surprising that the Legend deck is coming out in English. From the last report I saw through the distribution networks, the other trial deck didn't. The other big deck gift box thing, with the Sanctuary Guard, I believe, didn't actually quite sell as well as people would have liked.
That's because the deck was actually garbage. And people only bought it for 3 cards.
Yeah, that could definitely be the case. Let's see here. Blackstar, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. So, since the release schedule hasn't really changed as much, I mean, we're seeing like basically a set or a half set every month, or a bunch of trial decks. Basically, we're seeing a release every month. What are your opinions on that release schedule?
What'd you say?
What are your opinions on the release schedule of something being released every month?
So what's just my opinion of it being released every month? I think that's really good. I think that keeps the card game very functional and very active. I mean, yeah, it can be a hurting on some people's pockets depending on what gets released when. Like, say, I mean, they've never done it, but 2 Narukami sets set after each other. I don't know the release schedule, but as long as it stays like Nova, Narukami, Royals, along the lines of like Clan, I think it'll be very good for the game. Just as long as people don't have to update their decks every month and put a hole in their pocket, you know?
Yeah, as long as clans get equal support all around.
Yeah, certainly. It's very interesting there. And it looks like Mercenary King's having some connection problems as well. Geez. That is tough. So,
he's back.
Yeah, the connection. There's a lot of issues now with this release schedule. People have addressed in the past is that it's kind of gets pricey if you buy a lot. And just coming from like a more of a store perspective, when you have sets releasing every month, if the things aren't selling, and Vanguard has been selling a lot more, honestly. You would think that the game would be dwindling, but it's actually been growing quite well in America.
The past 4 or 5 sets, if you include the Shadow and Genesis extra boosters, have gone on a print.
Yeah, so we're on like second prints of a lot of the sets, so it's actually quite interesting that that's actually happening. Because you would think that the popular Vanguard is going down, but at the same time you have sets that are basically worthless, or maybe not as profitable from a booster standpoint. But I do like that, as we had mentioned in the Grade 4 talk that we had a little bit ago, old cards becoming relevant. Dodex making Dragonic Burnout a lot more relevant than it has been, making Dragonic Burnout a $20, $25 card. It's kind of crazy, but when you have a double rare that really people were paying $3 for a couple months before, suddenly going up for $25, that's crazy stuff.
Ash, may I ask you why the value went up?
Because Dodex is the best deck in the format.
Is it? Okay. I was just wondering because I've been away. So.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So I do love the new support. When Kaiser Crimson was released, I remember the prices of Vermilions increasing as well. See if I can get an accurate kind of readout of what the prices are right now. And let's see. Yeah, so looks like Kaiser Vermilions are going for about $17, $17 to $20 a piece. So we're talking almost the price levels they were at. I think they peaked at $30 back in the old metas, but we're talking at pretty high prices for some of these cards that are older. And Silent Tom, I know, dropped to a $5 card at one time. Now it's running around $20 a piece.
Wow,
so,
really? Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really
so
good.
Silent Tom has found his way back into the metagame state.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Because I remember when OCE came out with, I don't remember what set, but at one point people weren't even running Tom anymore, and it was just like get rid of them. Nobody whatever. It's irrelevant to even have them, and now for them to jump up back to their original price, that's pretty impressive.
Tom's back for a couple of reasons. Cross rides are pretty much no longer a thing.
Right.
And clans are now getting 2 8Ks printed, so you can run multiple 8Ks in your deck in order to ensure that Tom hits 16.
Qoheleth, may I ask you, is it because, like, do retire decks not really exist anymore in the current meta?
No.
Because... Go ahead.
No, they do.
They do?
But what you can do is the reason Tom's back is you can make sure he hits 16 guaranteed, and with the new OTT's mechanic to kind of stack the bottom of the deck, you can save your Toms for late game and then play them when you need them and then just push for game, as opposed to constantly trying to win the game and putting them into the danger zone, if you want to call it that.
All right.
Yeah. So certainly, nice new emphasis on old cards. Really, really interesting stuff happening there. So, while Mercenary King gets his little thing fixed, I'm going to cut to a quick commercial break, and I will be back in a little moment, guys.
There we go. This is a commercial break. I have no idea what's going on.
I will be right back. I will be right back, guys.
100年以上前、突如現れた巨人たちによって人類の大半は食われた。生き残った人類は巨大な壁を作り、平和に暮らしていた。世界は残酷。僕たちが失敗したら、それで人類は終わる。進撃の巨人。
All right. So, it was a quick little commercial break thanks to our semi-sponsors at Crunchyroll and so on.
Oh, yes.
Sponsors. Yes.
All right. So, kind of looking into our other topics. Well, Weiss Schwarz, or in this case, anime card game. Exactly. So, Qoheleth, I believe you and Makuto, so we might have to get him in on a segment later on down the line. Might be the, I guess, our main Weiss Schwarz players in the group. What are your opinions on English Weiss Schwarz as it is right now, and what is the near future as far as you know?
Well, God, I don't know. To be completely honest with you, I don't really play English that much. I know that when I do play English, I play English Fate, and Fate's fairly under-supported right now, considering how many sets they have in general. But I do know that, Bushi is taking, the time to control sets before they come an issue. We've seen that with Nisekoi. So it's a good and a bad thing in my opinion. It kind of ruins the gameplay, the game experience for everyone else by changing cards before they're printed. But at the same time, it kind of saves the meta. They don't have to print the set as it is and then ban it outright. They can kind of make it so that it's not as good and it's more balanced, if you want to call it that. Personally, I've never played against any Nisekoi, so I don't know how effective those changes were. But from what I've read, online and everything, it was pretty effective, and it was made the set almost over nerfed, is what people were saying. But we'll see. I haven't played against it. I know Kantai is coming out with a new set, and I'm not sure if that's a version E, where we get like set 1 Kantai, set 2 Kantai, or if it's just like the anime set that has been rumored to come out. But that should be good. Kantai, in my opinion, while it is a very pushed set, it's a good set, and it should be good for the meta. And let's see, English is getting its first extra booster in Sword Art Online 2, which hopefully they'll start bringing over other extra boosters so that they can start supporting other games and other sets, like the Fairy Tail extra booster. However, I think that Fairy Tail got an English version with some of the extra booster cards, so maybe they won't get that. But I mean, they're somewhat making the right choices as Weiss gains popularity, hopefully it'll keep pushing that popularity, and we'll get a lot of support that other sets need. Like we'll get the new Monica set that's coming out later on this summer in Japan. We'll get, I'm going to be biased, hopefully other Fate sets in English, but we'll see.
Yeah, so there has been quite an influx of new way sets for English lately, and it feels like Bushiyu is really trying hard to control the meta with card changes and whatnot. Personally, I think a lot of it's really bad, especially with Nisekoi just changing some of the the cards. Sure, they were overpowered and whatnot, but now you have a very underpowered set, and really, as far as Weiss Schwarz has been concerned, the version E sets have been pretty lackluster in terms of the cards that they can play, and generally it's almost night and day, a completely different card game between English and Japanese, which I really don't like that kind of difference. But hopefully with some of the new sets coming out, they really do change that philosophy, and down the line maybe even re-release some of the cards that we lost or had different prints of as like promos or something.
Yeah, like ultimately, what they should be doing is we have to keep supporting the sets that are out now, but they also need to support the sets that are already out in order to make sure that they stay competitive, quote unquote. Because there's only about maybe 10 sets out in English, which is a very small number compared to what's out in Japan. So the meta is very limited, and hopefully that'll change for the better later on.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll hopefully see more Weiss, good news from Weiss coming down the line. I'm sure when Makuto's in the segment, we'll have more to talk about as well. So moving on to Force of Will. It is a, well, I wouldn't say a new card game, but new in the United States card game that is similar to Magic. It's gotten very popular. That's because it's kind of a different version of Magic with art that you would normally see in, say, like a Bushy Road card game. So that combination of things seems to be fairly successful. And from what I've seen, it is an alright game as well. What is your consensus on Force of Will, as much of you as you know of it?
Alright, I guess I'll go. I don't know a whole lot about it. If I were to play, it would be on a strictly casual level. I'd pick up a trial deck and then just play other people that have like a similar or a trial deck, just to have fun. I've seen the art. The art is the most intriguing thing to me. I'm sure the mechanics are good. I'm sure they're somewhat polished. However, I have heard that they had to ban a mechanic because it was broken already, and it's made a line of cards already unusable. So hopefully they get their balance issues figured out before they continue on. But that's just my 2 cents.
Mercenary King?
Yeah, okay, I'm unmuted. I don't know. I wasn't wowed by Force of Will. The trial decks were poorly made, and I didn't really get to see the mechanics in play. It is getting a small following here in St. Louis, but I'll probably get myself one deck I like I did for Buddy Fight and Weiss Wars, and then just never really bother with it. Yeah. You never know when you'll be challenged to a Buddy Fight or a Force of Will for the fate of the universe. You know how it is.
Okay, you got to be prepared.
What?
I said you got to be prepared to save the world.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So, just based on what you've heard or seen, Blackstar, what are your opinions on Force of Will?
Honestly, I've seen very little. I've seen talking about decks or whatever from here to here. I haven't really checked out the page, so unfortunately, I really don't have like that big of an input into Force of Will right now. But I will be sure to do some studying in my free time, so next time we talk about it, I have a lot to say. Did it cut out?
No, we heard.
No,
Okay,
I heard you.
All right. I would be sure to do some independent studies on it.
All right, I guess it's my turn now. Force of Will. Like everybody else here in this room, I have, well, for me, I have next to no knowledge of Force of Will, except that I heard it's like Magic, except it's anime-styled, Eastern-style art in the cards, and from a design standpoint, I really enjoy looking at the cards. It's really good eye candy.
Yeah.
And that's just not saying the female cards either. I mean, even the guys and I guess non-human cards look pretty nice.
What are you talking about, Jason? It's all about that little red.
Total female wannabe cards ever.
All female clan, yes. Let's
he's gonna be the next mermaid person.
But I'm liking the art, and
There's lots coming out.
Yeah, certainly. I really do like the art and the mythos. It's kind of, as you see here, just going through the next set coming out for Force of Will. Force of Will, from a distributor standpoint, has been selling out like hotcakes. A lot of the cards, the foils and whatnot, are very expensive. There is what you call a J ruler, which I guess represents you. And that card, I guess it would be like your grade 0 in a Vanguard deck, makes sense.
So, Ash, are we, as far as pricing standpoints go, are we talking more of like high-end Yu-Gi-Oh prices for like the foils and everything?
We're talking about, I would say, slightly higher than Vanguard, and not really different.
Okay, that's all right. I didn't know how high of a standpoint there was on the foils and everything.
But that's good for a game that just came out.
It is, it really is, yeah. I was just wondering, because, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh, those prices are insane sometimes, so I didn't know if their foils were reaching that type of heights.
Well, we're seeing, on average, between $20 to $100 for foil, depending on the card.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the ones that are reaching the $80s to $100 level are not actually characters, but they're things like Special Mana Stone or in Magic, which you would call like dual lands and so on.
Okay.
So just things that kind of give your deck a little extra edge. So on my screen here, as you can see, there's an example of a J ruler, Scheherazade. Is that how you pronounce it, Wheeler? Or Mercenary King? Scheherazade. Okay, so basically, it's basically like your starter. You would start the game with, in this case, the Liberator of Wind face up, and then whenever you meet the conditions, you could make her the teller of 1,001 stories. So I do like the mythos. In here, you use a lot of real-world things. The 1,001 stories, which is nice. Just going through here, Pandora, ninjas, faceless creatures, the Knoll. There's a big focus, at least from what I'm seeing in this set, on the faceless, the Yogg creatures, and Cthulhu mythos and whatnot. Kaguya, and just kind of see here some of the interesting things here. Really, it's a lot of things that are really meshed well together. The different mythos is meshing well together. Even Abel, the Avenger of Gods, Apostles, Genesis. So some religious stuff here, and it's fairly interesting.
Yeah, there's also I just ran into Alice from Wonderland, so it's just all about like fairy tale type stuff and other stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, so certainly it is an interesting looking game. As far as IYG is concerned, I don't really see us really pushing heavily into the game. One of the things that I really don't like that this company, I don't even remember what the company is it Force of Will Co. is called, but the trial decks that were released around the same time as the booster set actually has a mechanic that was released with the the free fight decks that we could try out that doesn't exist anymore. So not only does it have a mechanic that doesn't exist, the cards really don't mesh very well with these fairy tale cards that you see here, which really it's almost like what's the point kind of thing. Why even have a
It really turned me off.
So that's what sucks about the trial decks. But I do like the booster sets. I mean, here are some of the J rulers. I'm just gonna flip through. Very interesting ones. You have the Little Red Riding Hood, the Snow Whites, Jeanne d'Arc, again Kaguya, Helsing. So very very different things. D'Artagnan, Dracula, Little Red, Lumia, Bahamut, Alice, Abdul Alharazed, and so on. So very interesting card, very interesting art styles. Really, I think a lot of people really like the game, especially if you're from Magic. Whereas, say, Vanguard could lure players from Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like this game will probably lure more players from Magic the Gathering. So, anyone have any other opinions of Force of Will? Just kind of as a general dabble into everything.
No,
I think it will be a dabble, solid dabble.
Yeah, I mean dabble for sure.
Yeah,
Depends on how much it is to actually build a deck. You know.
And as I've said, from a distributor standpoint, boosters have been selling out like crazy. It is at least as of a couple of days ago, was nigh impossible for most places not on the West Coast to get product. And part of that has to do with the whole port issue that's been happening over there. It's slowly starting to cure up, but yeah, that's
Port issue.
The boycott or whatever, the strike.
Yeah, the big boycott on the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
So there is that. So let's transition into our next topic. Springfest 2015. What are your guys' opinion? This is basically the major Bushiroad tournament. You're planning to go. If you're not, why? If you are, which event? And just kind of what you're hoping for.
Alright, so I'll go first because I'm pretty angry about it. One, I'm in school. I probably couldn't go even if I wanted to. But two, there is no Midwest location, which makes 0 sense. The closest one to the Midwest is Texas, which is still far a bit of ways. I don't know why they got rid of Chicago.
It's south.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the closest to the Midwest still. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got rid of Chicago's location, which is stupid. I mean, one, it's a central location. Two, it's where they had the last-minute regionals last year in November, so obviously they knew that it was going to draw a crowd. And it just doesn't make any sense to me why they would neglect a major portion of their player base, in my opinion, like that. But that's my 2 cents. Like I said, I couldn't go even if I wanted to, but I know it makes a lot of people that were going to go not able to. Anyone else?
I think it's weird that they're giving out a rare as a promo.
What, Blizza? They're giving out Blizza?
Blizzara, the Stride,
Yeah,
is a rare in set 2.
I mean, they enjoy reprinting Stride units for no reason. Like Frogmaster was a goddamn promo, a box topper promo that came in the booster. That it was a box topper for. So they really don't make any sense with their promos. That could have easily been something else that English needed in from a Japanese promo, like Taping Cat. Since I'm a Great Nature player, I need Taping Cat. But no, they had to give us 2 Frogmasters. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I'm still
Anyone
Yeah.
like the new promo card? What's it called? Omnio Regalia?
Yeah, go ahead and say that for us, Ash. What does that say?
Omnio?
No, what's the rest of their name?
Yoji?
Regalia Negi Calopagisis.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
Did you read that, John? Read that real
Blackstar's
quick.
got it.
Read that. What does that card do?
Okay. This unit gets 10,000. Or the act. Is that Soul Blast 5?
The less 6.
Soul Blast 6? Okay, it was like a little bit. This unit gets 10,000 attack power plus 1 crit until the end of the turn, and if the number of cards in your soul is 2 or less, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone. So can you lose on that?
Yes.
You can't? Okay, so there is a ruling.
Yes. All right, go ahead and lose. Go ahead and read the second ability.
Okay, so you Counter Blast 1. When this unit is placed on rear guard? Or Vanguard?
Insert card.
Okay. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose 3 cards with Regalia in this card name from your drop zone and put them into your soul. Then if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone.
Card's terrible.
Yeah.
There's literally no
What?
reason to have that type of restriction on this card. I mean, the art is beautiful. I would simply get it for the art, but the card is nigh unplayable. It's stupid unplayable. I have no idea why Bush even printed this card. They wasted good art, in my
It
opinion.
was the
Yeah, 100%. That's one of the best looking cards I've ever seen. Like, that looks so good. You would think, like, it would have some type of, like, double reversal effect. Granted, on the Ice and Fire. I mean, I'm just going off that. But, like, one effect would do something, and then the other effect would do a counterpart of that effect.
Nope. They both.
Let's
No, they
compare
both
it
fuck you over
to
pretty hard. They, excuse the vulgarness. Don't know if it's
That's okay.
PG.
Hold up, let me pull something up here. Previous card that they did this for was a Vector Zeus. Some kid made it for Make-A-Wish. Now, a Vector Zeus is a pretty great card that I'm currently pulling up on my little thing here.
When you write it,
Where when you place it on the Vanguard circle, it kills all the grade ones in the field. Whatever. You know what I mean? If it's a grade 1, it dies, which is great. It kills like Royal Paladin, Shadow Paladins, a whole bunch. And Mega Colony isn't really dependent on its grade 1s, so you can wait a couple turns before you, let loose. So you break ride, and then bam, kill thing -3 to your opponent at least. I've had -5 on occasion. And then its second ability is a little bit less more lackluster. It is.
Do you have it? Can you screen share that?
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. There it is. There we go. His second ability is a limit break 4. Plus
Ash,
sync
close
kill.
your screen
Counterblast 2
share so
plus
we
sync
can
kill
see
on
his.
turn.
Thank you.
Just click on mine.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it gets Counterblast 2, this unit gets plus 10k until end of turn. Choose one of your opponent's rear guys that can't stand. For some reason, they're equating can't stand the same as retire cost, which is Counterblast 2. Basically, you should be able to Counterblast 2 kill something, but we're saying Counterblast 2 can't stand plus 10k. Now, that's kind of weak on its part, but at the same time, it doesn't have any action except for board, and it kills your own rear guards, so you have to be careful and play it. But then again, if you're playing Mega Call, you're already playing up smart now. So you're not going to be stupid and put 3 down and then ride it.
Yeah.
But to compare, they're going to do this again, I'm sure, and I wonder how that will be.
Yeah, both cards that have been designed by, let's just call it a child, designed by a child, have been awful. But
A sick child.
that's not relevant.
Oh.
But anyway, it really does suck that they wasted such good art on that terrible, terrible card. But that's just all I have to say about it. Ash, where are you?
I'm stuck here.
Alright.
So, yeah, I think Solo might be having some connection
Ben,
difficulty.
mute your mic. There we go. Good stuff.
Solo, do you hear us? So yeah, he got disconnected there. So as I had up on my screen here, pull it back up. What are your opinions on the Spring Festival 2015 Blackstar?
Let me pull it up real quick. What exactly is this? Is this for like any tournament or anything?
It's just regionals.
So it's regionals? When is it? Oh, wow. Oh, so it already... Oh, when is ours? What the hell? Let me read it. Lucy Rose...
Basically, what the coupons are is you play at locals. Locals will give you a coupon. You take the coupon to regionals, and you get Blizzard, the Stride Blizzard.
So, do you need a coupon to enter?
Nope, they just get you promos.
And you only need one?
If you get one per.
The more you have, the more you get.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, that's a little weird. I guess that's like a weird idea. I don't know. Seems a little money hungry. Well, well, yeah, money hungry because more people will compete in tournaments for more coupons, spend more money on decks to win more tournaments. I mean, that's how I look at it, but that's a pretty stretched look. But
So
I don't really like the idea, honestly.
yeah, I already think regionals, in a sense, with the locations, kind of had somewhat of a barrier of entry for some people, and now the whole coupon thing.
Is that what you guys were talking about? Now there's no Chicago regionals; it's only Texas.
Yeah. That's
Earlier in the, okay, wow, that's pretty stupid.
Yep. Doesn't make any sense.
So I don't believe anybody's going to drive down to Texas. That's a pretty far drive.
Well, it's not
I'm not going to do it.
it's not as bad. I don't think anyone in our group here is going to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as people would like to say about it. And the promos, really, I think the most valuable promo, is going straight down to it, is probably Battle Sister Taffy. Battle Sisters finally gets their own real 10K attacker. So,
Straight is going to get a lot of play too.
which one?
The one next to it. That's going to get play. I plan on playing that card. So.
What's going to suck is that for the players who play these decks, Neo-Nectar will probably be more pricey just because there will be more Neo-Nectar players. But for those few people that do play the Battle Sisters or want to try out the Genesis card or just want to have it, I'm sure the prices will be kind of crazy. I expect the Blizzaraga or whatever to be, the promo anyway, to be quite pricey. And there's the little Bushy Road coupon thing right there. Does anyone know if our card shop has any of the coupons?
Yeah, they do.
Does Diesel give them out, or what? What's he been doing with them?
As far as I know, he's been giving them out.
So you don't have to win. You just have to compete?
No, as soon as you compete in the locals, you get a coupon.
Oh, okay. All right. I take back my statement from earlier. I thought you had to win your shop locals to get a coupon. All right.
Nope. That's what they give out instead of promo packs.
Oh, okay.
Wait, there should still be a promo pack, though.
I don't know. Who knows? All right, that's another story.
Okay, so it looks like regionals, as far as players in the Midwest here are concerned, is not really as big of an event. At least this thing. What I do like is that Bushy Road does have 2 major regional tournaments a year. So hopefully in the fall semester we'll have some more interesting things there with that. Generally, fall has been pretty safe bet for Chicago. Because I think even last spring Chicago was a last-minute thing, but fall had been there the whole time.
And I really don't see why they wouldn't continue in Chicago. I mean, it usually has an amazing turnout. Like, I feel like it's probably one of the biggest tournaments they have.
No, that's definitely not one of the biggest, but it's...
Really?
No,
I would think
California
so.
and New York take the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
But we had about 300 players last fall, so I don't know why.
Could be just politics and backdoor
That's
inner
right.
workings.
The city of Chicago had a falling out with
Yep.
English.
Yeah. That's it.
Naughty.
So, Solo, what is your opinion on, well, I linked it in the chat, but the first regional this year, Springfest 2015?
Let's see, because I just joined because I had technical issues. So, what is my opinion of the Springfest 2015?
How it's going to be run, your opinion based on your experiences at Bushy Road major tournaments, and just things like that.
Where's it going to be held at? Does it say on here?
Texas, I think, is the closest to us.
Okay, Texas. No,
No, Georgia would be the closest to us.
Okay, thank you. Well, if it's run by the same people, then I mean, there shouldn't be any difference to it. I mean, besides formatting and ruling, I guess. But Really, there shouldn't be any difference if it's the same people that are working in it, right?
Well, hopefully they get their judges and like
See,
be a bit more
I,
uniform.
I don't see an issue now that I see Georgia there. Georgia's only about a 7-hour drive, you know, add 2 hours to a Chicago trip, and you got about the same for Midwest players. And I've been to the Georgia one. I went there my first year that I played Vanguard for that regionals. It was probably the smallest turnout I've ever been to, but it was still a lot of fun. I think there were only like 120 players that went to the Georgia one. It was a really fast day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know. I would think that possibly Texas would be closer.
Really? Within 7 hours?
Well, I guess it really depends where in Texas it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna Google this shit right now, boys. Don't worry.
Because, I mean, Georgia, I don't know, like, the venue it was at was bad. Like, it was the same as any other regional, but, like, the venue was definitely, like, really bad. Like, the place they chose. And you played on, like, folding tables, and you had, like, steel chairs, and it was definitely one of the worst venues and scenery-wise. The worst regional. Because you go to Chicago, and you're in nice hotels, you're playing comfortably, you know, you're sitting in the chairs.
Yeah, that hotel that they had in Chicago last
Was
time.
it Hilton? Was it the Hilton that we had it at? No.
No, it was Hilton.
Was it the Hilton? Yeah.
Well,
In the
It was
not
the
the one
Hilton.
that- not the
Yeah,
one you
it
were
was
at,
really
John,
nice.
But
What?
not the one you were at was in the Hilton, I don't think, but the one just recently was.
Oh, was there another one before I quit?
Yeah, it was last fall.
I was at that one. Remember,
No,
I got
two
knocked
falls
out
ago.
4th round.
Oh, that was you. You were
Yeah.
there. I'm
I was
sorry.
wearing goggles the whole time because I was swimming
Yeah.
through my competition. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
And then I fell asleep on the floor for like 5 hours.
Yep, that's you. I remember.
Oh, I lost to mermaids. Ugh,
Everyone lost the mermaids that day. Right?
so stupid. And then what's his name? Tron did amazing somehow. Because
Tron and
Ben
Solo.
taught, or the Mercenary King taught him his ways.
Pretty much, yes. But
I
no,
think
Tron
it's,
was my greatest student.
I got
think it's funny that the casuals topped.
no, and
We
none
didn't
of the
top
main
it,
people
boys.
topped. No, but Tron used the deck I was gonna use, and then I ended up using Ethics, I think. Yeah, Ethics Reverse, and I who didn't know the deck at all. I had a day of practice, and I was just like, yeah, I got this.
It's that easy.
I misplayed a lot, I know that, but I don't know. Jason solo performs well at every tournament.
Yeah,
And,
Jason just doesn't care. You know, he'll play shit
he's
all
the
year.
casual player that's like, oh, top 20? Yeah, I'll do that every year. I don't
Oh,
care.
no big deal. Oh,
Whatever.
Yeah.
What he
He
I
would have gotten the
believe
top cut
what
too.
did you finish the year I played? Oh, you finished 33rd and I finished 22nd. Yeah.
yeah.
And then Vu finished 48th. Yes.
Yep.
Well, you have like a list of those somewhere?
I do.
He's got it pinned up on his wall.
Yep. I stole the scoreboard.
All right, so just
Straight
a
up
quick.
lifted it.
Can't be sued by Vanguard. Copyrighted.
All right, so the one in Texas is on the Gulf Coast, so that's a 12-hour drive.
Hey, show us the little map you have. Google
No,
it.
because it has my address on it.
Oh. Give
That's
us
fine.
the address. Wait, just give us that address. Of
Give
that.
us your address.
It's on the page. It's on the Vanguard page. Just go there. But anyway, Georgia is an 8-hour drive. Texas is a 12-hour drive because it's on the Gulf Coast.
And roughly, I'm assuming we're all not obeying speed travel time. So
So
about 7 to 11 hours difference. Yeah.
Whereas Chicago was a 4-hour drive.
4 hour, maybe 3 and 30 if you could do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
People have done that before.
I know Jacob, the first regional we went to in Chicago, he did 100 all the way there. Just all the way. And we got there in like 3 hours.
See? How you
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Because AJ drove like 50 miles per hour, like when he started driving down the highway, and we were like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's stupid. No one does that.
Obeying speed. Whatever. So overrated.
Hopefully they'll have something for fall. So maybe we can go to. I'll be done with school, so I'll be more inclined to go.
Blackstar
looks
will
like
always make an appearance.
looks like we have just share everything here. Looks like it's in Houston, just right into the bay there,
Okay.
Pasadena. So it's a very, very long trip.
Yep. You got to go
Yeah.
through most of Texas.
Instead of just going over like 2 states over to Georgia, you know.
Well, we could probably go through Arkansas and then right into Dallas, Texas.
That's still Texas. That little part is like our state, though. Like,
We would probably take 55 down, and then go through Little Rock, Dallas, and then down to Houston.
But we got to stop in Oklahoma.
It is that simple.
yeah, we have to stop in Oklahoma.
Because they have the world's largest McDonald's, guys.
Boom.
They got a gift
Oh
shop.
my.
Thing.
Hashtag Vanguard goals.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, considering all that, you know, even though a 7-hour in Georgia to 12-hour in Texas, I think the 12-hour would be much more worth it because of the travel between
Experience.
places.
Yeah.
And getting to Houston is a bigger venue too, or wherever that is.
100%. Like I was saying, the Georgia venue, if it's anything like the first year, it was very bad. Judge calls were very stupid. I got a loss in a round because I had a piece of dirt on my Kamui sleeves. So, you know, not really liking Georgia that much.
That's marked. Rough.
Yeah, it's a marked card. I marked my card. I marked my grade 1, so I knew
Yep.
I could get it. Yeah.
Yep.
100%. I'm a cheater. Blackstar confirmed cheater.
Heard it here first, boys.
You heard it for
You're
first.
always
That's it.
suspected.
Mark
I know. I stacked my deck. I trained in the Tyler ways.
Oh, don't say that.
Allegedly.
Shots fired.
Don't say that.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. So,
They don't
okay.
know which Tyler.
Tyler knows which Tyler.
So that was basically our discussion
That
about
was Blackstar shot fire.
about the upcoming tournament. So, you know, as always, we're going to try to have one of these discussions every week. If you guys have any questions or any topics you want us to address, you know, we're probably going to have a regular crew, but we'll have some guests here and there to pop in, maybe even Diesel or Makuto next week. Just give us some input so we get a lot of perspectives. And even if you guys want to join us as a guest, you know, give us a pop-up. Maybe we can arrange something. There's no guarantees there, but certainly would be, you know, happy to hear, you know, opinions and whatnot about this.
Yep, that'd be cool. And maybe we'll get people with solid connections next time.
I
If you
need
want to
him
know how
up.
Blackstar gets his hair so slick, you know, just leave it in the comments.
Head and shoulders.
Exactly.
Those are great clips.
Exactly.
So that's going to be the end of the main segment of our podcast. Is there any other things that anyone, at least the topics I prepared, anything that anyone wants to kind of mention about? I know as far as releases go, we have the new Mario Party game coming out tomorrow, or tonight.
Blackstar won't be playing it because I'm not invited to any of the parties. So
The best kind of party is a Mario Party.
I know, right? No invite. Didn't get it. Sorry.
Are you playing Smite now, Blackstar?
I do not play that garbage game. No
Thank
offense to High Res Studios, but unfortunately, you guys make a really bad game. So I won't be touching that anytime soon.
Yeah, solo.
If you got, I mean, if anybody who watches Imagine Your Goddess plays League, I play League of Legends. So
Ballin'.
yeah.
You want to throw out your username so people can search you up?
No.
But they just want to make sure you're really flat 3, Blackstar.
My name is LCG Kazugaru. That's an L. That's a C and a G. Kazu Kazu Garu. So if you want to know why my name's Kazugaru, ask. Doesn't matter.
No, I don't think
Pretty
they care.
nice story. Yeah, they don't care, but you know.
As long as it's not XXX Sephiroth.
XXX 360 quickscope Rust only XX. So that's my username.
All right, boys, let's wrap it up.
All right. So thanks for listening in. We try to you know, have at least one Vanguard-related topic every week. we might not necessarily have the same type of things that we're doing today with Weiss, Schwarz, and Force of Will, just for lack of better planning. That was kind of like the things. We were more than we're very welcoming to any topics regarding games or just kind of geek or otaku culture. I'm sure it's a shared interest of anyone that really would watch our channel anyway. So as always, thanks for watching or listening in. Ash signing out, and anyone else want to say their goodbyes?
Bye.
Bye.
Nope.
I go just.
Yeah, guys, it's solo. See you later.